According to a recent article in the Harvard Business Review, 83% of Asian women, 80% of black women, and 76% of Latinas say they want to be promoted, compared to 75% of men and 68% of white women, but with ambition often perceived of pushiness and questions misconstrued with disregard for authority. Many women of color say they're being overlooked for leadership roles. So a new book, Woosah, a survival guide for women of color in corporate world, tackles the topic with tips and humor. And author Rahkal Shelton joins us right now. Woosah.
Woosah, Micah, doesn't that feel good?
Yes, it does.
Yes.
It does. What are the pitfalls? What have you seen being in corporate America? And I should say, you used to be an intern here at WGN.
I did
yeah.
some time ago, yes. Some of the pitfalls, I think it's a lack of trust in our judgment. So we're not positioned properly to get into those leadership roles, or if we're there, our voice is stifled to an extent. So I think there's a lack of trust sometimes in turning over the leadership, which goes against the whole purpose of diversity. I think the beauty in having your voice is bringing a different perspective to the table. So in Woosah, I speak about considering yourself being on the menu versus looking for just a seat at the table. Yes.
Okay. As Shirley Chisholm used to say, bring a fold-out chair to the table. You know,
we can do that too.
Yeah. Just make sure you're there. But how do you get there if you're stifled, if you're pushed away? Or, I mean, equal pay is another issue too.
Yeah,
we can get
that
into.
is another issue, and we speak about that. I think it's very important to ask for more, and make sure with your ask that you are bringing that quality and value to the table as well. So you're prompt, you're having the great performance reviews, and it never hurts to ask for more.
But don't go ask for more if you know that you're mediocre.
If your work is subpar,
right.
But you
make sure you've already equipped yourself with everything and say,
absolutely.
Hey, there's no reason why I shouldn't. But many times women are afraid to ask.
Yeah. And I find that very interesting because men have no problem just asking for it. You know, what's the worst that can happen? They can say no, right? Yep, fire you? Yeah, no. The worst that can happen is that or a no. And for an ask, more than likely, you're not going to get fired.
Yeah.
So I think bringing to the table just a need that's in the workplace, you can assess what your unique skills are. So you want to do that and then maybe come up with a presentation and present why you believe you deserve more.
Did you personally ever have a problem asking for what you needed?
I have never not countered offer any position that I was offered. You always want to counter, and you want to do that very early in the game. So no, I've never had a problem with that. And all they can do is say no.
But how was the reaction most of the time? Did you succeed most of the time? Or?
Two times I was very successful.
Okay.
Other times I was not, but that's okay. I did it, and it's very empowering when you speak up and use your voice, which is also what I speak about in Woosah, the power in disrupting. You know, you don't necessarily have to play the game, or if you find yourself playing this game, you can still be fired or let go either way it happens, whether there's a downsizing, whether they just don't need your services. So it's best to walk in your full authenticity and to be you and bring everything you have to
But you also have to get an attitude. You have to get the confidence, and that's not easy for everyone to do.
Yeah, good point. And so in chapter 2, I speak about the value and self-worth. Your self-worth is net worth, and I speak about having a personal mission statement. So you want to take some time, do some soul searching, and assess who you are, what your unique skills are, and what you bring to the table. So when you stand on who you are, that's the confidence that you need, because you know exactly what you can bring.
I think back on Show Me the Money in the movie, and Cuba Gooding and his wife says, so often we don't think we're worth it, so we never ask for as much as everyone asks. Oh, I'm not worth it, but you are worth it. So how do you have to realize within yourself that you are worth it?
So much worth it. I think finding looking for the problems that exist in your workplace and what unique solution can you offer based on some of the things that's already existing. And if there is a problem there and you have a unique solution, pitch that, give it to them, and likely they're going to be susceptible to that because they need that solution there. And that's your gateway to ask for the money.
Would you suggest that people, if they just keep going, the door just keeps slamming on them, to leave that job and go somewhere else?
If it gets to that point, and so with Woosah, these are strategies on how to keep your confidence and cool. There are toxic environments. There are disgruntled managers or people that's flat out in leadership that shouldn't be in
Racists.
there. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So you have to assess if this place is in line with my bigger picture. Is it worth me staying there and being very strategic to get what I need to get to go on to my next? And if it's not, and it's detrimental to your personal health, then it's time for you to move on.
Yeah, and don't just quit a job before you get a new job.
No, be very strategic. Yes. You want to always make sure that you're strategic with that.
What does Woosah stand for?
Well, Woosah essentially speaks to resetting.
Okay.
So if you need to take a moment, go to the restroom, Woosah. You're going to reset and then tackle it again at a different angle.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Woosah, a guide for women of color in corporate, is available on Amazon and on Rahkal's website, rahkalshelton.com.